that you can use to talk
Okay,
to.
we're streaming this episode of a podcast. Enjoy, chat. Enjoy.
Is it still going?
Well, I stopped it and I restarted it.
I'm pulling it up so I can look at chat.
After,
Stealth, you're giving me ads. Stealth, what's going on here? Come on, buddy.
I like money. I like money, okay? I have to quickly edit my stream information.
No, maybe Squirrel. I was here first. I just didn't click that button.
Sorry, chat. The whole reason that this episode is live is because I clicked streaming instead of recording. I've not been good with. I've been being very scuffed of content this week.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that.
At least you've been making content this week.
Hey, you've been doing stuff. Is it content? No. But
That's my one thing,
content.
is trying to figure out how do I turn working on the SMP into content itself.
Yeah.
Can I make Dunn SMP BTS stuff without making spoilers? God fucking knows.
You could.
Well, you could do that and then just hold on to the recordings until it's not spoilers anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's that is more work, that's the point, is I'm trying to get more content out of the work I'm doing.
Anyway,
I'm doing too much work to not have enough time to make the content.
Give me a second, chat. I just need to get my PNG tuber up. In case you can't tell, we don't have Reilly with us today. I finally replaced him. No, he was busy this week. And the whole purpose of today's episode was we're talking about the stream yesterday. And Andrew was in it. And Luke, who was here last time.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh no, we didn't want to leave him alone.
Yeah, I'm just here playing Pokemon, and they said they were going to go off and record, and I was like, I mean, I'll join. So
Yeah,
now
sure.
here I am.
Exactly. He's
and
right
the
there.
more the merrier. The more the merrier.
Exactly. We ain't complaining. And plus Luke might have questions too.
Yeah. I was heard, I can't remember if I made this up in myself in my own head, or I actually heard this. Isn't this we're now with Smithy here? We're going to see more about the Dunn SMP, but more so from the perspective of one of the creators, not necessarily the person running the whole show.
Huh? Where'd you hear this from?
I don't know. That might have just been my own head.
Wait, what's happening?
I mean, I guess we're having it that since you're one of the creators of Dunn SMP. Boy, I'm a creator of Dunn SMP.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're the
host. Oh, you mean on the
okay.
podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the first guest.
Because like my episode of the podcast was all about like how the SMP is run, from the perspective of the guy running it. Now we're gonna see what the SMP is like from the perspective of one of the creators.
But he helps run it.
Awful sweatshop.
It's fucking shitty.
Yes.
Well, yeah, still saying I help run it. I am on the marketing team, which is bad, and I'm on the scheduling. Well, I'm the scheduling manager. So
hell yeah, brother.
We have.
I don't get paid for either.
No, I don't get paid either.
And with that attitude, you never will.
What?
Wow. But yeah, you know, I can't remember if I said welcome to Play Sort of a podcast. But you know what? Hey,
I think you did in the first.
You know what?
Dream.
Okay. You know what? 2 Stealth Hawk streams in one day, technically. But yeah. You know what? I fucking add some music.
Well, not on a podcast.
I don't normally do it. I don't normally do this live, but I've not been good with technology this week.
Yeah,
so
just let our voices serenade the audience.
No, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Just let your voices serenade the audience. If anyone wants to watch during the Centre of Rufus, I may actually get the video up. I don't have a command for it. I mean, if you type !Dunn3, you can find a link for there. There's.
Whoa! Should we start a commentary?
We actually, I can play the HD version here. We can just do live commentary.
We just do live commentaries. So, whenever we get the condensed lore videos done, we do live commentary on all of those, and then keep working our way up. Also, condensed lore videos. When it comes around to Journey to the Center of Rufus, I'm not condensing it. it's just its own episode.
You know what? That is completely fair. Just start it and end it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
No cuts.
So I can genuinely just put the final version.
No, we'll do
Okay, fine.
the podcast.
But yes, for those of you who are living under a rock or something, yesterday, as of the time of recording, was my first stream, air quotes, on the Dunn SMP. We say stream. It was entirely pre-recorded.
Well, it counts.
It was
First
it was a
lore.
stream.
It was
You
your
were-
first lore.
It was done live. Yeah, it was my first bit of lore hosted
You
by
were
me.
streaming a pre-recorded video
I was
because
streaming,
there was a
yeah.
lot of there was a lot of live stuff. There was commentary. There was some chopping around.
Yeah.
Like it was live.
Yeah.
Call that a live stream.
You know what? If I didn't mess up, it wouldn't have been a live stream.
Nah,
Yeah, that's true.
you were working the audience. That's what it was.
That's
crowd.
true. That's true. I
Yeah.
had to confuse them a little bit to make sure we were paying attention.
Exactly.
It's all part of the plan. I definitely didn't
It's
forget
all
about
part
stuff.
of the plan.
Yeah. So that premiered yesterday, about 24 hours from this stream. You can watch it on YouTube. I got a link here. You can go to the dungeon and watch it. It's entirely pre-recorded and it's a long one.
Hell yeah.
Our longest.
Longest pre-rec? Is that the longest stream, technically? Lore stream?
Longest stream? Absolutely not.
More.
Nah,
I was
we've had
looking at
longer
your.
streams.
I was looking at your VOD, and it's longer than your more recent ones, I think. But then,
Yeah, that's
you know,
because as we've gone on now in more recent years, we have condensed it more. We found there was a lot of fluff in the earlier
Oh, yeah.
streams. So especially now with the condensed lore videos being made, there's a lot of fluff in the streams, and so now in the more recent ones we've condensed it way down. Stuff that would have been multiple streams, we're now making into one stream, so it's more engaging. The right word?
Well, yeah, just easier to digest because I've been editing down streams that are like 2.5 hours, and to be honest, they're about 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, that
Like,
is
but
completely understandable.
it's not like a dig at you or any of the people that were doing it. It's just that it was very early days, so you weren't quite sure what you were doing yet
Yeah.
and how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, where I feel like the more recent stuff has been like, or like we did the frontline streams. I think that was like 40 minutes, 30 or 40 minutes, because we had like one story to tell there, and that's all we did.
And even then,
Yeah.
we were trying to like find filler because like originally you guys were just gonna be at the battlefield, but then you added a bit of Luke going to your house to add a bit of time.
Yeah, add a bit in to make it more realistic for the characters, I guess. But it was just one thing, whereas in the old days there probably would have been like an hour of Luke hanging around, and then he comes and gets me.
Yeah.
You know what? That is
It
completely
used to be that
fair.
I would pretty much start every stream from my house,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where we would then get context as to what's happening today, and then you would go off and do it. So there was a lot of unnecessary stuff in there.
Yeah. Is this the first stream that was entirely pre-recorded, or has that also been done before?
There has been just straight up YouTube videos made,
Okay.
but in terms of like a pre-recorded stream, this is the first of its kind.
So I do go down the history books. Let's go.
You've definitely started something.
Yes. But yeah, anyway, something I should probably talk about is the behind the scenes of this stream. So, and something that some people may not know is that the existence of this stream was accidentally tied to our guest here, MrSmithAB, or Andrew.
Hello.
So, for those of you, this has definitely come out by now. Andrew did a stream recently called "The Sun Always Shines on TV." I was gonna say in the Valley.
Well, yeah, obviously it's already come out. We're streaming this.
I know.
It happened. It happened like a week ago.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean everyone's watched it. I mean, they should. They should go to twitch.tv/MrSmithAB and watch the highlight because it's really good.
Whoa.
Nice plug.
Holy
Yeah.
crap! Dunn
Oh my
SMP?
god, I've just seen in chat. Dunn
Oops, wrong
SMP is in
account.
chat.
I was so confused. I was like, what? How are you doing this?
There's a little little teaser for something that might come in the future.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is Atlas on the wrong account.
Dang. Dang it,
That
Atlas.
is our head of marketing.
Atlas,
So-
you're spoiling the secret. Jeez, Atlas. Jeez. Hold on, I have to move this place, this guy. Do I run with you or do you switch accounts? You can stay. It doesn't matter.
It's fine.
It's
fine.
fine. But yeah, so for anyone who hasn't watched, The Sun Always Shines on TV, so spoilers, because like it's quite important. But SmithAB has access to time travel now?
I wouldn't say time travel. I think when I pitched it to Luke, it was time travel, and Luke went, No, hold on a
Time
second.
travel is very complicated.
Very
And so I
complicated
said,
and very powerful.
I said there's very hard limits we need to put on this before we actually make it a thing.
Yeah. So I think you said it. I don't know if you said it on the podcast, but that every time somebody comes forward with an idea for something and you think it's a little bit too powerful, there's got to be it can do this, but this, and
Yeah.
so at the moment it's not time travel. It's just lucking into memories and stuff. Now, in the next stream,
Dun, dun, dun.
I have an extra command shard from inside Rufus.
The black one.
So maybe there'd be some development in the technology, but at the moment it's just no one saw that. Oh, I thought Atlas was saying nobody saw my stream.
For a
But no,
second, I
nobody saw
thought I'd be
the
like, jeez,
messages.
Atlas,
Can't
jeez.
believe you do your boy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. No,
It's
yeah, the
distracted
next
him.
stream,
Yeah.
obviously the technology is going to evolve and get to a different place. You know, have a bit stronger tech. So we'll see what
Mhm.
happens.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you came up with your time travel. Well, okay, the initial idea of yours ages ago, right?
Not that long ago,
It
actually.
was okay. It was around,
I feel like it was maybe the beginning of the year, but not longer than
but
that.
you pitched it to Luke around after your first stream this year. I think. 'Cause I was there. I think I was there.
What was my first stream this year?
Sal's Goodbye 1.5.
Oh, did I?
That this year? Luke, you remember him telling you about the time travel idea? Or the time you went. Never mind. Okay, okay. That's not too important. Because I came up with my idea for Journey to the Centre of Rufus. Well, granted, I had a title and I had a concept. The title was Journey to the Centre of Rufus because, like, come on. That's a good title.
Pretty
It's
good
a decent title.
It's a great title.
Yeah.
And the concept was Rufus is a big dragon creature. We are inside it.
Hot.
I know.
Is that what happened? I didn't watch the stream.
What a man.
Maybe. So now I can't remember if this was a voice note, if I was just mashingly texting you on Snapchat when I was walking home. But I had the light bulb moment. And then I quickly told Andrew, and I was like, bro, I had an amazing idea. Journey to the Centre of Rufus. Dun dun dun. Enough said. And then Andrew was like, oh my gosh, you have to make that.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even gonna stream. As I've told him the last episode of a podcast, I was just a background character originally. And then I was just gonna be a side character. Then I fucking had this idea. And the only other thing I needed at that time was ideally I didn't want to be in Rufus alone. Because I mean, we watched it. Being inside that dragon alone, that'd be scary.
Or Duke.
Yeah, poor Duke. And Andrew was like, you know what? Yeah, I mean, if you need a guy to go in Rufus with you, I'll be that guy. And I was like, oh, cool. But then I had the original pitch.
Can we say what Rufus originally was?
Look, are you okay with me saying what Rufus originally was? Because I'm gonna be
Considering
honest.
considering you say originally as if it's been retconned now or we've
Oh,
changed it,
it's
and I
No,
been
it
don't
has.
remember
it's
what
been
the
complete
original one was, go for it.
multiversal dragon worm.
Ah, yes, the multiversal dragon worm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it wa yeah. I put a pin in that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, originally, once I had Andrew on board, I wanted this to kind of tie into his stuff, at least play it a little bit, just so it's not just one massive filler thing. So it's somewhat important in the grand scheme of things, even if it's just to Andrew. So I had the idea, how am I going to link this giant dragon worm with his timey-wimey shenanigans? The answer was simple. Make it a multiverse or interdimensional worm.
So simple.
Yeah, a multiverse or interdimensional worm. Stealth was going to see his past, but also versions of himself. If you're wondering why I have so many skins, that's not actually why. It just happened to be a happy accident. But that's kind of why I wanted to go with the interdimensional worm. And that was how we were gonna look back in time. Just gonna be multiverse magic, right?
A lot of
Yeah, I
what I
think
spend my time doing with these scripts is just nerfing them and putting a pin in them because they always
that's
get
fair.
so they everyone gets ideas and everyone gets very excited with their ideas, which I'm so happy about the passion. But they're always just so complicated, like unnecessarily complicated. So it's always like you gotta find the best bits of it, find what makes it work, and then streamline it into a nice well put together script. Which, not to say that I'm a professional doing that, but it's always good to have a second opinion to be like, okay, love all this, but you gotta rein it in a bit.
You know something
Bring
funny?
you
This is why I keep my scripts on lockdown from Luke.
because I just I destroy them.
Look, you were out of the I want to say 4 people I told, you were the only one who had a problem with it.
Mm.
Like Kevin approved of it.
I thought it was too complicated.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I'm really glad you said that because I kind of
Mm.
preferred what we went with.
Yeah,
Looking back at it,
I think it turned out phenomenally.
yeah.
Phenomenally.
Because I feel like if we went with the original one, it would have just been a convoluted mess.
Yeah.
There'd
yeah,
be too much stuff going on. But here,
exactly.
we got to have more of a connection with it, you know?
That's another good thing about it is that often the simpler stories are a lot more personal.
Yeah.
And the bigger, grander stories, you're basically just throwing every idea at the wall. And the fact there's a bad thing about that. One, about it not being as personal of a story, but also because you're throwing every idea into this one story and you're going to be left with no original ideas left.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, like you're saying, it's the multiverse worm where you're meeting other versions of your character and all that. Like, we might still do something like that down the line in the future, but now the door's still open for that idea to be brought back in. Currently, that idea is scrapped, but you never know. Now that
Yeah.
that opportunity is still there.
Truthfully, again, because this is completely scrapped, so I will mention this. That was where stuff was gonna go after, but I realized, you know what? Hey, I should probably do some Never stuff. And I could do a whole podcast on the amount of stuff I've scrapped currently, and we haven't even finished with season. Because I have a lot. But no, we just picked a simpler story. But we were gonna have this really cool moment where one of the Andrew cameos was gonna be him in a Sans head.
Oh, in the multiverse one. Yeah,
Yes.
because in my original one, Sal is like, do I give him the TV or do I give him the Sans head?
Yeah.
So it would have been funny to see a version of that. It would have been like a second of of him on screen, but it would have been funny.
Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe someday in the future, maybe there is an interdimensional version of Rufus. Maybe Rufus has a dad who's interdimensional.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But the other important thing was this was going to lead into a Smith of timey-wimey shenanigan thingies. Because he was going to take a bit of Rufus's DNA. And that's how he was going to time travel. Or do his time shenanigans.
Yeah, I remember because since Rufus was like this multiversal, multidimensional creature, wasn't it going to be like Andrew was able to use a part of Rufus as like
Yeah, I was gonna use
fuel for his
fucking like
multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
flesh or phlegm or something
I
Mhm.
remember that. Yeah.
to do it, but then stealth or that all got changed, and stealth never told me.
I swear
So,
I did.
so
I just
then
kind of forgot apparently.
months later, we're getting closer to the day, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, we're still doing this, right?" And he goes, "Oh no, 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 that got changed months ago." And I went, "Oh, okay, cool." And so I had to write everything for my character, and then get the first stream done before Rufus. Now I say this like it was like a week's notice. There was enough notice to actually do it, but
I gave you 2 months, I
uh,
feel like.
yeah, I think I had a lot of time. But still, it was I expected him to. I expected
I
Rufus to be the answer to all my problems, but
I
yeah,
fully
was
I fully remember me telling you the second Luke told me to do the everything. But I guess I'm
I
just wrong.
don't think so.
That's
Well,
completely fair.
as we saw from the journey to the Center of Rufus, my memory is much better than yours.
That's true.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's true.
My
Yeah.
memory's awful,
Yeah.
Well,
which is why I always like people to write up documents for me.
Yeah.
Nice, well put together, professional documents.
I
Documents.
mean, I don't hide my scripts from Luke. I show them all to him. He just forgets them.
Uh-huh.
That is completely fair.
Okay, Buster.
But yeah, so
Oh,
originally, oh wait, go on.
sorry. I realized that after my next stream, it's gonna be like my streams are gonna be like the Guardians of the Galaxy. How there's a trilogy, but there's stuff in between that completely changes the story. That is not a part of the trilogy.
Well, Rufus is your
Mhm.
Avengers Endgame. Your Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy
and
Volume 3.
oh no, the battle the battle for New Sun City is the Infinity War, and Rufus is Endgame.
That's a really funny comparison.
Yeah, but I'll have a trilogy
Oh,
because
wait,
the story runs throughout. And teaser for the next one, we're going to be going back to some stuff that's in the first one, so it will
oh,
actually be a complete trilogy, I think. And
Mm.
there's also
interesting.
stuff, you know, with the multi or the
Timey-wimey.
DCU,
Have you
I
started
do
filming
love
the
our
though?
Dunn
little mini
connected
arcs.
universe.
I think our little mini arcs are always great. Like the pigs part 1 through 4.
Mm,
I love it. I
Yeah.
love all the little mini arcs we do.
Mm-hmm. Have you started filming any of your next stream, or
no,
that's completely fair. I'm not gonna spoil when it is on the calendar. It's
it's
not
sooner.
Tuesday because Tuesday's housewarming. This episode might come out
Be the
after
week
Tuesday.
after.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't have a calendar open right now.
For how close it is and how much there needs to be done, I should probably start recording.
Should we end now so you can start recording?
100%.
But yeah, so
I'm gonna pull
originally.
up the calendar because I'm actually curious. When is the date for my for the next stream for?
I mean, yours is kind of already.
Friday the 29th.
But Luke, aren't you kind
Oh,
of
that's enough time.
doing the thing on like Tuesday or?
Yeah, I'm in that.
Yeah.
I might stream that.
Oh yeah.
I'm in that. I might stream that.
Cool. For the record, Tuesday is housewarming.
I said that.
That's
Yeah,
already announced.
we mentioned it in streams before, but like setting up the next one. Yeah, so it's Tuesday is the current set date for
Mhm.
it. I'm not the main perspective in it. I could be. I could be one of them.
I'm not the main perspective
We don't
either.
know yet.
I think there's 2 other people streaming it, so I'm glad to hear you're streaming it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, just to have some more perspectives, because the housewarming has been like talked about for so long,
It
and then it turns
has.
around that there's like 2 people, and it'd just be a little strange.
Yeah.
Are you gonna stream it?
I'm not going. I'm busy.
He's busy working on his technology.
Sure.
I'm busy like in canon.
Yeah, he's taking a shower.
Uh,
Yeah.
Still trying to wash the shit off me.
Yeah.
that was so funny. Oh my! I have to gush about during the Center of Rufus a bit.
Go
That
on.
stream, I loved it. It was so funny. Oh my! Every bit of it. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. It was
Now,
really. It was really.
I'm not
Funny.
sure if
So
Luke remembers this, but in case you
okay.
wonder why we climb out of Rufus's butt, Luke, that was your fault.
What?
So you know when you nixed my multiverse idea?
Yes.
I was like, yeah, but if we don't do it that way, then like we can't go out the mouth. We'd have to go through the butt. And then you were like, yeah, but stuff. That'd be so funny. That'd be
It
so
was.
funny.
It was funny.
It was funny. So, in case you wanna blame anyone for the shit humor, you can blame my boss right here.
Hell yeah, brother. I'll take full credit.
Wait, yeah, I do actually I do want to talk about the stream because, well, first, Luke, you were obviously busy. You didn't watch it live.
No.
Did you just watch the YouTube video?
Now he watched the
I was
he watched
going
the
to watch
VOD.
the YouTube video. No dig at stealth here.
So
I
my
was gonna
fault.
watch the YouTube video, but then I saw that it was 30 or 360p, and so I checked the Twitch VOD, and I saw
Ah,
the Twitch VOD was 1080, and I was like, ah, yeah, I'll watch the Twitch
That
VOD.
is not my fault. That is YouTube's fault for not putting an HD yet.
right. Are they still rendering it?
It's still rendering in HD.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So you got to see all the scuff, Luke.
I got to see the scuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I think all scuff aside, because scuff happens, it's normal. It's live. You can't predict this stuff.
Hmm. Well, it was all
Scuff,
pre-recorded, but anyway.
but
scuff
still.
aside, it was the content was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
And the scuff didn't like pull me out of the stream so much that it was ruining my experience. If anything, it was just kind of building anticipation of like we're about to build to this big moment, and all of a sudden, oh wait, hold up, and I'm like, let me watch the stream.
Yeah.
You know?
It was like the TV glitching, like in the stream for us, like, or like the gas shooting at stealth that stopped him from getting the reveal of Jake wiping his memories. Like, it was just an extra layer of that added on,
Yeah.
but unintentionally.
Yeah.
Well, so hi, Yas. Welcome to an accidental live episode of a Placeholder podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that stream was scuffed. The funny thing is I was like to Kevin and Leon because I was hanging out with them in the morning. Yeah, see, part of me really wants to go through the footage I have and maybe re-edit it. But if I do that, I wouldn't be able to hang out with you guys, and that would take hours. I don't want to delay the stream. I probably should have done that. But hey, what's done is done. And let's be honest, it was kind of funny.
No, it was.
Yes. At least it wasn't it was pre-recorded, so I wasn't out of character.
Yeah.
That's true. You were never in character.
Yeah, at least not live. Marketing the podcast in mysterious ways. Yeah. No, I genuinely speaking, this has not been my week with technology. I click start streaming instead of start recording. I normally click start recording. But you know what? Hey, accidents happen. We also know Reilly this week, but you know what? That's fine. Yeah. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention was before we go into fully in depth of what happened during the Centre of Rufus, we also had Leon in our crew. That's what I'm calling our poop crew, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Leon wasn't in the first.
Shit boys.
The shit boys. Leon wasn't in the first draft. He wasn't even in any of the early drafts for the streams. But I basically realized as we got closer to the battle in New Sand City, holy crap, mine and Leon's storylines are very similar. Because we both have pig parents, and we both have positions of responsibility that we don't want. Now, he takes fat out by being silly, and Stealth takes fat out by being stressed. So,
very different approaches.
Very, very different approaches, but we're kind of like two side-ish of the same point, if that makes sense. Which is really funny, because in real life, me and Leon are the only Asian members of the Dunn SMP, and we're both the only ones in college. So, like, we're fucking, like, similar-ish enough. We both like mint ice cream, that's just a base opinion. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. If I want to have more streams with Leon, I should probably introduce our friendship. And what better way to have a budding friendship than climbing through a monster? So...
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of the monster and Leon, it looked incredible.
No. That was...
Oh, Rufus looked great.
It was just... it's like one of the best sets on the server, I think.
Honestly.
Just of like... it was so good.
Now, all I asked Leon was, you know what? Hey, could you make like, just a giant grim hallway? Doesn't need any detail. They could just be grim. Doesn't even need lava in it. And maybe it was
And then he
because
fucking
Leon.
went off.
Maybe it's because he was like, you know what? Hey, if I'm in this, I want this to look good. Or maybe he was just, I don't know, feeling determined that day. Maybe he was listening to the voices. But it took him like a day
My voice has
to make that.
It wasn't even that fucking long.
No. Because
It
he's
was.
just a
He did
good
it so
builder.
quick.
He did it so fucking quick. And what's funny is I showed one of my friends the build. And he was like, why did you do that? I don't want their first impressions of my builds to be the insides of a giant dragon. But no, he
But it's
did.
one of the best.
No, it genuinely was. Like he made it look way better than I had any like thought. Like genuinely, like I don't think Leon's watching this. He's probably recovering, but he did great. But having Leon there was also important because, well, we worked this in after we agreed, but it also kind of showed. So we have a connection to Sun Valley with Leon, who is the captain of the valley, but also is better to demonstrate Stealth being a bad leader, or just a bad like person in charge, because of, in case anyone who watched As the Dust Settles, that's what you called your last stream, right, Luke?
I believe it was called
Okay,
As the Dust
yeah.
Settles. Yes.
So Gregory is in that stream. That's Gregory's debut.
Sorry, I'm back.
That's okay. And he
Yeah, it was As the Dust Settles.
He gives an excuse as to why Stealth isn't there, that being a plumbing issue in the Bastion. Now, if that sounds fake to anyone at the time, because I was watching the VOD and some people actually thought I was being serious. Guys, there's no water in the Bastion.
But you changing it to a humming issue and then just walking around humming was so fucking funny. It was so funny.
Yes. Originally it was going to be a coming issue, but I decided, fuck
Whoa.
it. Coming ain't funny.
Right?
It was going to be a who in the what issue?
Don't worry about it. But no. The humming issue was just, I thought about it at the time, I was like, fuck it, that makes more sense, and then I can drag that out. And Leon did a great job of being like, what are you talking about? There's no humming here. Sort of playing the straight man, which is funny for Leon's character, who normally is never the straight man to a joke, you know?
Mm.
And then we get one of my favorite lines from that thing is, can you see I have this empire to run? And then it's just no one there.
Just an empty bastion.
Just an empty bastion. Yeah, because he's just trying to get Leon to go away because Stealth just want to hide in his panic room. Also because I've skipped that first bit. Another one of my favorite lines is stupid Gregory being good at their job. At the start, I liked that line. Because say what you will about Gregory, he's the GOAT. He's
good at his job.
He's got competition now, but he's one of the better piglins. But yeah.
Can we talk about the best character in the whole stream?
We'll get to Duke in a little bit.
Okay, I'm glad you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, don't worry. I mean, you had like 2 options, and one of them was dead.
Yeah,
and we also just like ran into SmithAB along the way,
mm-hmm.
And that part was in what you go on.
Yeah, I think we hadn't talked about it, but then when we started recording, I was like, "Oh wait, hold on a second. I got slashed down by Jake."
Yeah.
And one of the last things I saw was this pig dude stood beside him on his team. And now I'm going to be interacting with them. And it was meant to be just immediately like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" But I was like, "No, hold on. I'd be apprehensive about this guy." So yeah, it was a little improv, but then when Leon comes in and he's like, "No, it's good, it's cool, we're good." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then we just kind of move on. It wasn't a huge thing, but just in the beginning that my character was apprehensive of actually speaking to you.
I'm glad like you pointed that out because that definitely made more sense. I didn't even think about that. I just assumed that you would have heard, or I don't know, someone posting on their blog that I was in charge. But no,
well, no, because I haven't interact. You and Leon are the first people I've interacted with
Yeah.
since I died.
Yeah. No, and and that was great. Oh, and another like just slight Easter egg. So if anyone's watched the stream, Leon is the one who gets yeeted into Rufus. The funny thing is, this is technically the second time that's happened to him. Don't know.
Oh, didn't he play the piglin before
Yes.
they got thrown in?
So
Yeah.
in Behind Enemy Lines, the streamer Atlas infiltrates Sebastian. Leon plays that specific piglin that gets yeeted into Rufus. So it's happened to him twice. That was also a partial reason why I added Leon to the script, because I was like, come on, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. It's like how every relationship on the server is centuries old magic lady and younger warrior man.
Which is a
But they've got
complete
a type.
coincidence, by the way.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
It is.
Yeah, I think what Atlas is like 400 or 500 years old.
Yeah,
Kevin's 600.
ish.
Amy's
Amy
Probably
has to
over.
be like double that because they heard stories about her when they were children.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they actually said the other day, I think they were talking about that all would have went down when Atlas and Kevin were children.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
So she'd be maybe like 100 years older.
Yeah.
still, that's
And
really
they
old.
figured that out because the timeline is a little confusing with all these
That's
really
been
old
a
people.
fun little thing. That's a fun little behind the scenes thing to mention is we've always written these stories and written these interesting backstories, and we've liked to work say Leon's backstory of being a member of the Knights and Kevin and Atlas's backstories of being members of the Witches. We like to work these factions into one another so it looks like this one large connected world. Um, but only recently, when we started getting into scheduling and all that, we realized, okay, let's get a timeline together. When did all these events happen? And it's such a mess.
They're all
we
over the place.
we've tried to make it work and try to write everything together, but it's so convoluted as to the actual. Okay, this happened, then this happened, then this happened, but this was supposed to be like way after that. I was like, it's a whole thing.
it is. Yeah. And
We need MatPat just to come in and make a theory about how it all works together and be like, yep, that works. Let's go with that.
the day he does that, you know we've made it. When MatPat makes a theory about us. That's just a theory. A D free SMP theory.
But I feel like with like even TV shows that get written as they go, like season by season, they retcon stuff from the first season in the fifth season.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
Yeah,
it happens all the time. It's not like we're the first or like we messed up or anything. It's just
Yeah.
that new ideas come in and they're really good, but they might not quite fit in, but we're like, "Oh, we'll just say it works, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do I have next? But anyway, you know what? I feel like I've been avoiding the important conversation for a while. I think it's
Classic
time.
stealth.
I think it's time we talk about the most important thing about.
Yeah.
You know what? Not even the stream, the week. And you know what? It's Duke. I'm not even gonna joke. It's Duke. It's fucking Duke.
It's Duke.
It's
What a
Duke.
man. What a hog.
What
Like-
a hog.
Obviously when we were filming it, it was funny to us, right? But there were no subtitles. There was we had no idea what Duke was saying, but the subtitles were so funny.
Thank you.
It's like you just like call out to Duke and he goes, "Yeah, what's up, home slice?" And we're like, what the fuck?
See, I tried to think of dialogue that Luke would say. Because Duke's first bit of dialogue is, "What up, boy, boy?"
What up, boy?
And everything else, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just make it all funny. It's just, I loved writing Duke. And Duke, I want Duke to return because he was great.
We could bring Duke back. Duke can appear more.
I mean,
I'll allow it.
The people seem to love him.
If the people want Duke to return, Duke will return.
Yeah.
Realistically, that's how this show works.
That's true. That's true. But with Duke, the whole thing. The funny thing is the existence of Duke and the D&E Hogcast.
Oh, here we go.
Battle spawned because of me being salty towards Luke. So we talked about this
Because
a bit.
the D&E podcast was
I'd just say, Luke didn't have you on a single D&E podcast.
He canceled
This is the
it
second
right
time.
as I got
This
free.
is the second time he's been on this podcast.
yeah.
Yeah. He's right. Maybe I should kick him
Well,
out.
no one's fault, obviously. It's the the D&E podcast is come and gone. And and this podcast is it's alive and well.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
For now.
We'll see how this goes in a month.
You have to make it to 6 episodes.
I have to make it to 6 episodes.
You have to make it a 6.
Yeah. But like I said, that was originally just a joke. But also, it wasn't even gonna originally be Inside Rufus. Originally, the podcast was going to be the start of the stream. It was going to be Stealth having a freak out while on the D&E Hogcast. And then it was going to be the end of the stream with his final speech being on the D&E Hogcast. But I feel like it was much funnier having just a set inside the Rufus itself. It was like in Community, Troy and Ovid in the morning.
Yeah. I love the idea because we say it and then Leon kind of questions it of like, oh, Jake must have thrown the set down here. And Leon goes, the whole set? Like the imagery of Jake just picking up the set and throwing it into Rufus amused me very much. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah. But the funny thing of Jake being anti-podcast when he was on your podcast, like he was like your most regular guest. That was another thing. But also, I was like, the only reason we added that line was because Cell, who was playing Duke, nodded, and I was like, I mean, sure. I mean, I guess Jake just did it. But something you'll remember if you watch the stream is that we have D, but we didn't have E. We didn't have our Ethan.
Didn't have E.
In this case, it was going to be Ewan. In case anyone can't tell, it's the D&E Hogcast. But I can't call my pig Dunn because we already have it done.
You already got it done.
Yeah. I can't call it Luke because then it's not the D&E. So what did I do? Combine them. We have Duke and Ewan because I need something to sound like Ethan. And Ewan was genuinely, he was supposed to be an extra. But
yeah.
I had no one who was free that day. I had Cell, and my time with Cell was running out because they were tired. But I had no one else free. So, I had the big brain idea. Because I was like, if I can't have an extra, then I could just have it that Ewan is dead. So I fucking found this texture pack, which edited like skulls. I mean, I added like piglin skulls. And I looked through all those skulls and all the property files. And I had to go, because the way that one works is by biome. There's like a different range. I had to edit them to get one that looked, I make it look like Ethan's skin, because spoilers are supposed to look like Luke and Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, believe it or not, yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's shocking. Like Luke's hair, Duke's hair.
He nearly looked familiar. I thought he was a brand new character.
I mean, we just need Duke and Luke to meet someday, I guess.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so I literally edited an actual skull, like a piglin skull, for Ewan, with the joke being, he's just dead. And Andrew said, and I showed this to Andrew.
No, you're gonna throw me under the bus.
Can I say it, Andrew? Can I? You know, Ethan, if you're watching this is what Andrew said, not me. Ewan.
Well, kind of Stealth was going like, oh, I could do this. Like, you know, he wasn't sure, right? And then I made a joke saying that Ewan would contribute as much to the podcast as Ethan did. And then after Stealth heard that, he went, oh, now I'm 100% doing the skull. So,
Yep. Now, Luke, you probably can't
sorry,
comment
Ethan.
Luke, you can't comment on that, can you?
No, you put me on the spot here.
It's okay. We can segue to the next bit if you want.
Segue.
But yes, on the topic of skulls, we had an Ethan skull, well, an Ewan skull, but we also had a bunch of other skulls. So for that texture pack, there was like a Wyver Piglin skull, there was a normal Piglin skull. These are just normal skulls. Like the Wyver skull is honestly look cool, but I might talk about later. I needed to make one for my brother because I always had this in my mind because I wanted to kind of tease there. My brother was inside Rufus from the start, but I figured, if I'm just doing that, I might as well have some fun with it. So I made one with a Jake mask because I was like, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. It was. There was a Wyvern one with a Jake mask. I can't remember that scene on the stream, but we added the normal one just because I'm the texture guy. I have the power to make the texturing stuff look cool, so I'm gonna use that power for good.
Department.
Yeah, and I feel like that really helped. And it was a little bit of foreshadowing because you wouldn't have had the same appeal if it was just a skull, you know? Like you would just be like, "Oh man," but it was a bit more teasy. And like I said, that was a little annoying to do just because there's like over 100 skulls in that texture pack. I'll do it again if need be, but give me at least a day in advance to do it.
We'll see.
This is where Luke is sending me a long message of every custom skull he needs. Because the other annoying thing is the specific block you place it on that determined which skull it will be. You can't just break it and then place it again. So I had to the reason why Ewan's on that side of the chair is because on the other side it was never him. It just never generated as him. So I had to keep changing the location just slightly so it would be the right skull. Luckily it worked out. Yeah.
Well.
It did. I mean, I could probably upload the texture pack eventually. I mean, I could do it with a lot of the stuff. I'm not sure if I will. If there's demand, maybe. If not, there's no spoilers in it. It's just skulls. But yeah, so after Duke, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Duke subtitles. I did, like I said, I tried my best to emulate some of Luke, but also go a bit more.
No, he was a standout character.
He was. Like that bit where Stealth's like, oh yeah, I kind of stabbed him in the back, and just like, yeah, that's not base, bro.
Yeah. No, he was. It was very good. It was a great character.
Yes.
I would love to see Duke return.
Maybe. And like I said, you wouldn't be able to have that much appeal to Duke if it was live because there wouldn't be any subtitles.
No, exactly.
Duke is definitely up there now with some of the best NPC characters we've had.
Fair.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I feel like that's another thing that we have a lot of is now we've had more and more NPCs, and I love the NPCs. They're great.
A lot of that is my fault.
Yeah, most of them are coming from stealth.
Yeah.
We've had Rashers.
Yeah.
We've had
Gregory now.
Gregory.
Duke.
We had there's more of the
Jorge?
I don't know if technically this is an NPC. No, I'll call it an NPC. What's Atlas's cat? It's
Gertrude.
Gertrude.
No,
that's not an NPC.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Well, we've never had someone play Gertrude, but we could. The idea is that it's a non-player character.
Yeah,
but then you could say that about everybody's solotls they have and
your dog.
Yeah, but I'd say they are considered NPCs. However, they haven't played a big role in the story, and therefore they're not as impactful. So they wouldn't be considered on the list of the best NPCs. As much as they are NPCs, they're not the best ones because they haven't played big roles in the story.
Okay, all right, have your way.
That's the thing is if even though Gertrude has never been played by someone, Gertrude is a big part of the story. Gertrude has played a role.
I guess they have, yeah. I mean, no, they have, yeah. But you know what we need to do now, Luke? For your anniversary, NPC bracket. Who's the best NPC?
Oh yeah. I suppose that's a little announcement there. Which is that In the next couple of months, we'll be hitting the Dunn SMP 3-year anniversary.
Yeah, 23rd of
December.
December, if I'm correct. All right.
Yes, and
Oh.
so I'm currently in the planning phase of what we were gonna do for that 3-year anniversary to celebrate. And one
Mhm.
of the things I want to do, which I don't know if I will yet, because again, work has to be put into it. It's still in the planning phase. Things may change, but I think it'd be really funny if we did an actual Dunn SMP award ceremony
Yeah.
where someone actually gets awarded longest prereq. We actually have award for best NPC. We have
Most
we could have loads of different awards.
most muted VODs. Most
Most
muted
muted
lore
VODs.
streams that goes to SmithAB because he keeps playing copyrighted music.
I got it unmuted.
Yeah, I know, but still. I'm trying to get you an
I got it.
award. I'm
I got
trying to
it
get you an
unmuted.
award here.
I get an award anyway. Best character. Sorry.
Yeah, but Duke exists, so.
No. He's best NPC. I get best character.
Fair, fair. But speaking of subtitles, we have a flashback. So
Yeah.
that first flashback. So actually, well, you two were there when I was filming. You two noticed that I cut out the original first flashback.
Yes, actually, I was just thinking that the getting chased by a hoglin, right?
Yeah, that was the original flashback.
Yeah,
I
that was all
cut
cut out.
that was entirely cut out. In case
Mm.
anyone wants to know why, I decided for two reasons. One, the whole purpose of that flashback was to kind of like give the idea of the fire resistance potion. But I realized now, well, I did later, that if I shoved it down everyone's throats, it's gonna be really obvious that's how we're gonna escape. I'd rather just be a line at the start. I've been like, oh dang. Which I personally feel like worked better. But also, I still have that footage. I'm not gonna show it. It's scrapped. In that that scene, Stealth's not wearing piglin clothes. Because the idea was he would have started as, you know, normal boy. He was wearing clothes similar to my PNG skin. If you see my Minecraft skin, my normal one, wearing that. And
Mm.
I scrapped that because although the purpose of this stream was to get answers to Stealth, we needed some questions. And I felt like I could probably write something better than just, yeah, plus then, because maybe there's a bit more intrigue. This isn't me saying the Stealth's a human. I refuse. I know that Luke said the Stealth's definitely a human last time. But, you know, he was supposed to be, definitely, even though, I don't know. But yeah, that scene was entirely cut. I also cut out a bit of... So after Six's death, we shot a scene where me and my brother delivered Jake an Ender Pearl. I cut that out. That wasn't needed. It just dragged to it. We also had a full-on chase scene of Six where he was just crawling into being killed. Also got cut out. It just thought it looked too janky.
I thought the actual Six death scene, because obviously it's been retconned, right?
Yeah, well,
To be
okay.
what is in your stream.
It's
But
technically
it
been
looked
retconned.
very
It's
good.
ever so slightly retconned. Like the only bit of retcon is that the shot that we showed, where the original shot where Six was killed, the final time was in his bed because it was his second.
Yeah.
He lost 2 lives at once. Where one he was killed at the Piglin camp, and then the next one was in his bed. Whereas this one, the shot was downstairs. So that's literally the only retcon in it. Originally,
know,
it
but
was unnamed piglins, but
Yeah.
now we are giving characters to those piglins. We're giving extra context.
Yes.
Yeah, but the scene looked really good. Like you had like redstone kind of put around the place for blood and stuff. Like it
Yeah,
looked
it looked
really
really
good.
good.
I was surprised because, well, like obviously we recorded the stuff inside Rufus,
Yeah.
and I saw 1 or 2 of the flashbacks, but I didn't see the majority of it. So to me, it was all new as well. So I was even surprised by that scene. Like I thought it looked really good.
That was like, I think the first flashback I filmed. Well, I fully edited. I did that months ago. It was really simple. That's one of the few ones with shaders. Because it needed shaders. It was a dramatic moment. But music really adds to it as well. And originally it's gonna have dialogue. Originally Stealth was going to say, "Is it done?" But it didn't need it. It just was a powerful scene. But yeah, I'm really glad that Luke let me retcon that. Because I wanted to tie this in, because like Stealth probably would have been around for a while, just no one would have known about him. I wanted to tie in every little bit of Piglin history, and I feel like I did it pretty well. So we
It's
talked.
always good for world building to show the new continuity of what actually used to exist. Turns out
Yeah.
that's actually another thing is how I was talking about how you need to strip back and simplify.
Hmm.
Whenever you're writing a story and you're coming up with this new history, right? You always think, okay, well, it's a story, so you go beginning, middle, end. You tell the whole story, but then again, if it's a full-on backstory to someone's history, there's often a lot of content there
Yeah.
because you're telling literally their life story.
Uh-huh.
So it's a lot to digest. And so another thing that we do when it comes to the scripts is we strip it back to simplify it and show what's relevant.
Hmm.
You show what's relevant to the story, and you can often revisit that backstory to give more context afterwards. Like my stuff in Skyworld, there's so much Skyworld content that I'd love to get into in future flashbacks and such, but I knew it wasn't relevant. It would just be adding more and more to it unnecessarily, and it wasn't actually relevant to the conversation that was at the time where I was telling that backstory.
Hmm.
So again, there's loads of content to come back to and keep revisiting,
Yeah.
and I was able to simplify it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And plus, granted, I feel like I told some of you, but I'm not sure how many people would have expected Six to be brought up again with his death.
Hmm.
Because I wanted to do that was because this is where I was making Stealth's backstory much more tragic. So I was like, you know what, hey, we need to establish, because we've seen a bit of Jake and stuff, but we need to fully establish that Jake was a piece of shit. Because we know he was to some people. Like, we knew what he did to Alice.
Yeah.
But we need to make sure that he was a piece of shit to the Piglins, and the best way to do that is to Stealth.
Uh, actually, sorry.
Go on.
I died laughing. You said to Jake that you would do anything for your brother to not be killed,
Yep.
and then it cuts to you in front of Jake with your shirt off or like unbuttoned, and then he's like, "You look at this guy, get out of here!" And then the like wide shot of you walking away. I was on the floor laughing. It was so fucking funny. I just wasn't expecting it at all. It came out of nowhere, and it was like one of the funniest scenes. It was so good.
That was actually a never changed scene. Um,
Ooh,
that was originally going to be Stealth doing an actual dance for Jake.
right.
Like doing a stripper dance for Jake.
Mm.
Um, but what we realized was we didn't want to suggest that there was something more going on between Stealth and Jake. It was just Jake is mean to him, not for
Mm.
any weird kink. He just likes to make fun of him.
Okay.
Jake was very adamant about that.
Yeah.
No,
So,
that's fair. That's fair.
but honestly, it worked out better. Because it would have felt, looking back, would have felt a bit random to cut from "Don't kill my brother" to just dancing. But you know
Mm.
what? It was great. Jake was also just the great during this because I had to bug him a lot. Be like, hey, so here's the script. If you would change anything, let me know. And he gave his thoughts and stuff. He was great to direct. Um, he did a great job. And I felt like he did a decent job conveying the emotions I wanted him to feel, even if it's a slight thing. A lot of the time he's supposed to be playing an asshole, but during the English lesson flashback, he did a good job of not being a full asshole there. Because in that one,
Mm.
that's the nicest you'll see Jake in that entire stream. Where, granted, he does actually physically hurt Stealth, but he isn't like calling him. He isn't actually verbatim. He has a much calmer tone, and Jake did honestly a great job there. Like honestly, Jake, if you're watching this, you were great to work with. I can't wait to maybe work with you in the future. Well, granted, our characters hate each other, but I don't know, we'll see. We'll see.
I need to get him for a scene for my next one.
Spoilers.
But he's in it.
He is.
Confirmed.
Your streams are well, granted, I don't know when I'm gonna air this. We're doing this differently. I could air this like literally right after tomorrow. Well, we'll
Wait,
see.
I mean it's live. It's being aired right now.
Yeah, but I need to go on YouTube and air it.
Well, true.
Yeah. So we talked about that. Oh, so the other flashback was so we did the English lessons. The penis person joke.
Oh my god.
So my first canon line is person in a Salamina stream. Because now I realize we're slightly breaking continuity because Self is just learning English there. So how is he speaking English in his flashbacks when he's kind of speaking broken English there? You know what? Easy solution. It's in Piglin. It's in Piglin. And then Sel's one where he's doing English. But I wanted to tie that in. Like I said, I wanted to tie in every kind of appearance I had. That's another thing with burning, which we'll get to later. And I figured, you know what'd be a funny way to do this? Having Jake teach me English, and I accidentally say the word penis. Because that's a very Jake thing.
I've got another possible explanation as to why you were speaking English in your flashbacks.
Go on.
It's because you perfectly understand what you're saying.
Oh, that's true.
So those flashbacks were from your perspective.
Yeah.
And so us as the audience were seeing you and being able to perfectly understand you because you can obviously understand yourself.
I know that makes
It's
sense,
like
yeah.
spoiler alert, the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it's like.
So what you're saying is the
That movie's been
more
out for a while. We can talk about that.
Groot says words saying that he loves you guys because the idea is that after watching the 3 movies, we're a part of a Guardians crew.
Yeah.
And you can now understand Groot.
Yeah. Great
So it's
movie.
like that.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea. And I feel like, and also the whole mannequin idea, where we replaced the head with Luke's, that was actually Sal's idea, Salamina. Because I told her this joke I had, because I was like, you know how your stream, my first line was person. We're gonna do that, but it's gonna be penis. And then they were like, and then so it's a mannequin, and then just Jake changes it to Luke's head, and then it's just more accurate.
Wow, I'd have words, Luke. I would have.
No. It's just in the script. It's fine. I get it.
It's Jake's opinions on Luke. I don't think Sal actually thinks you're a dick.
Believe it or not, it's Jake's actual opinions, not just in the script.
yeah. This is Jake's in real life opinions, not his character. But yeah. For that flashback. Also, the other thing to address, there's a fucking penguin inside Rufus.
Oh,
well, I mean,
penguins.
There's penguins everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not a shocker that that Rufus ate one.
Because here's the thing, I don't think we really see much of them on the streams on the SMP. The penguins are one of our what do we even call these? I don't think we've ever actually defined them. We just call them world building.
Yeah.
But I feel like we should give them an actual definition. There's like call it side stories because we have the A plot for the whole arcs of the SMP. You got the A plot, you got the B plot, and call these the side stories, right? The A plots are essentially the stuff that's affecting the whole world. It's what's pushing the main arc forward. For example, in the last arc, the Command War, the frontline streams, the Battle for New Sand City, those are all the A plot. Everything with Jake, everything with me, everything with the Resistance, that's all the A plot. But the other side stuff, like actually even the Atlas streams in Command War were A plot because she had a lot to do with Jake. But everything that
when they went exploring like the Scythe Temple, that's B plot.
That's B plot.
That's not pushing the story forward, but it's still close to the main story.
Yeah. That's B plot. So these are the side stories where we've had the penguin the penguin, what was it? The churches, museums? I can't remember. Penguin churches, right?
Churches.
Made by Kevin, by the way.
The Church of the Penguin, yeah. There's been that one, and there's also been the Snailians.
Oh, yeah, the snails, yeah.
There's a snail in Rufus.
The snail was made by Atlas because Atlas said stuff. She had a snail. I was like, okay, you can make it. And then the penguin, I was just like, Kevin, you okay with me saying it? Rufus say a penguin? And Kevin was like, oh yeah, that's funny. Sure.
It's pretty much been our random bits of world building, which we don't have much intention of making a large part of the plot, but they're kind of like little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're recurring Easter eggs in the story.
Yeah.
I don't think we have many more of them. There isn't loads of them, but there's loads of the ones that exist, which I know the Snailians and the Penguin churches.
Well, in terms of like physical structure Easter eggs, I think that's really it.
Yeah, we should put more in. We could do more.
I know what we're doing until the next big thing.
And then speaking of the penguin,
yes, we had a guest in that penguin.
there was someone hiding in the penguin.
Yeah, there was that baby zombie piglin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, contender for a very good NPC.
Yeah, they weren't. I can't believe you were gonna kill him, Andrew. Like, geez.
Thought about it.
Yeah. Was there someone else in there?
No. I think Duke was the only side character we had.
Wait. Charms.
Oh, yeah.
Charms.
Charms.
He was in the stream, wasn't he? Yeah.
I think so. He was the end credit scene.
He was. That scene was so funny. Oh god.
So
that was really funny.
Charms picked really great timing to get back into the Dunn SMP. So the Rufus structure had just been built. And I saw how good it was, and I was like to Keevan and Leon, it'd be so funny if this is how we introduce a new character. Luke isn't gonna allow it, but it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny. And then guess who comes back to the server? Mr. Charms.
Mr. Chaz.
Mr. Charms Live, Chalky Charms, whatever other names he has.
Can we say what happened? With recording.
Oh, with recording? Yeah, sure, go on.
Yeah, so Charm's character's obviously been missing for a while, right? He just hasn't been active, he just didn't have time to do the SMP. So
yeah.
Everyone has their lives.
Yeah, exactly. So that's no problem at all. But we're like, okay, we're gonna reintroduce you doing this, right? And this is how you got here. This is what happened. And then we explain that to him. And then about 2 or 3 minutes later, we start recording. We go through the motions. We go into the house. We find him. We say, Charms, how did you get here? And he goes, I have no idea.
Yep.
I think he just completely forgot everything we told him. And then we just went, okay, all right.
Wait, what? Obviously now it's retconned because he's out now. It's not really that important as to how he got in there anymore. Or is that something we might actually still revisit?
He sent me a message. He sent me a message about my TV head, so there might be something.
Ooh.
So I shouldn't say what it was? What it was originally going to be then?
I'm sure.
That's what I'm curious. I don't actually know what it is.
Okay, you know what?
He was.
If I get in trouble, my boss is here. So like, what's he gonna do? He's
and the boss is asking. So.
Yeah. Originally the idea was Charms was going to the Nether to look for gold so that he could buy friends.
Oh my god, it's
he goes to the Bastion, to get gold. He gets spooked into Rufus. He's just been living there since.
It's so Charms.
It's so Charms.
But then the fact that he ender pearls out of Rufus means that he had a way to get out the entire time.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just never did. He just never thought it was possible.
Yeah.
God's sake. Well, he didn't know he was trapped in Rufus.
That's true.
Well, that's true as well. Yeah, you genuinely had no idea what was going on.
Yeah. No, it was great, honestly. And originally that was.
I do hope we see more of Charms.
I hope so too.
He's a very funny character.
But that wasn't supposed to happen. Originally, Charms wasn't going to be in. He wasn't in the first few drafts because he wasn't really active. We didn't even know if he was in the Dunn SMP anymore.
Hmm.
Originally he was gonna debut in As the Dust Settles, right? Or around
I
then.
think so.
Yeah, I think he was gonna come back just in a random stream, like just show back up and be like, "Hey guys," and that's it. Like there
Yeah.
was no whole thing to it. But I think putting him inside Rufus
It
is a
was
funnier
it
way of
was
doing
no,
it.
it
It's a
was
much more Charms way of bringing him back in.
yeah,
Yeah,
no.
just the idea that he's been stuck in there since the last time we saw him, which was how many months ago?
It's
Yes.
been a while.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah. Because originally he was just gonna be locked in his house. And well, considering how frequently new people are in New Sound City, um, the fact that no one just noticed
Sun
that
Valley.
sorry, Sun Valley, yeah. Um, the fact that just
That's
no one
another
were to
that
check
that's
out
a
on
fun
him.
little thing. Everyone always gets those names mixed up because it's the two S names.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to rename New Sound City to Hog Shaker Central.
Hog Shaker Central.
Hog Shaker Central. That was Jake's idea for the record, but maybe.
I threw around the idea of it being New Hog City,
I don't know.
changing it from New Sand City to New Hog City,
We'll
but I don't
see.
think that was ever confirmed.
We'll see. I mean, I get to name it whatever I want, considering it's my city now, technically.
Yeah,
Right? Right?
big boss now.
Yeah. Another thing I will say was there was a genuine concern that Charms wasn't even going to be in the stream at all.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Um, and I'm not going to go into specific details, but he was just getting increasingly busy, and everyone has their own personal lives. But I was personally getting a little scared because he wasn't responding to my messages.
And I mean, obviously very happy he showed up, right?
Yeah,
But I think we lost something that day because if it wasn't Charms in the post credit scene, it would have been Duke.
yeah, it actually would have.
no,
I've actually filmed it.
Yeah. Duke
I
would have made a canonical escape.
you never know. Duke could have still gotten out of that. We just didn't see it on screen.
maybe,
That's true.
maybe,
Charms might have dropped him a pearl.
maybe, yeah. Maybe Charms left to go be on the D&E podcast.
Yeah, you never know, right? When the moment Charms got out of there, Duke could have been watching, and then Duke was right behind him.
Yeah, Duke could have been right because we don't see behind Charms.
No, no,
We
no.
just
The
we just see
moment
him.
Charms gets up, cuts to black. You never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
after the quick Spider-Man 3
That was oh
audio.
my god, it was so
this
good.
is another behind the scenes thing. My friend's a fan of the Dunn SMP. She was watching that bit. And be like, why'd you put this weird, dramatic, evil music when Charms came out of the Rufus?
Just didn't get it.
She didn't get it. She didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
She didn't get it. It had to be that. It just
It had to be.
What else was it gonna be?
I feel like that tune has been such an inside joke with the SMP because I don't think it's ever been on camera. That
I didn't even realize an
A little
inside joke
tune.
with SMP. I just thought it'd be funny.
So we've used that in VCs so much with soundboards and stuff, just messing
Yeah.
around.
We've used a lot of stuff in VCs,
Well,
like
you should-
reviews. Get going, Andrew.
Wait.
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be right here?
What?
Oh no, it's not on the actual
Soundboard.
Discord soundboard, is it? It's just on Luke's
No,
soundboard,
no,
right?
no. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
me
yeah.
and Jake's and stuff. Well,
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
fact,
Confirmation. Originally, had Charms not been available, we were gonna cut him out entirely, which would have sucked because we would have lost the joke. But Duke would have been
Yeah.
free. So in the end scene, we made it very clear not to mention Charms when we got out of the butt.
There it is.
there it is.
We made it very clear not to mention Charms in case we had to re-record about him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was well, but then again, we did record like a long section of it that began with us saying we have no idea where Charms went.
Yeah.
So we
And
would have had
then-
to refilm that. Like, so either way, we would have had to refilm stuff.
Yeah. But no, he did great. He was in there for about 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was. We recorded with him for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then
He was
that was it.
he was so tired that day. He
Yeah, I
just
think it was
like
his first day at his new job or something when he
yeah,
came home and did that.
he did that. He left straight away. Great fun.
Yeah.
But speaking of charms, right after that, we go on, if anyone who watched the live stream, the fuck up of the century. That's me forgetting to put in arguably the most important flashback.
Yeah, I was disappointed because I thought that it was going so well, that it was like everything was just so well put together and it was just playing so well. Like I know I was in it, but I was laughing away. Like I thought it was genuinely funny.
Yeah.
Um, but then there's like a mess up. I'm like, oh no, it could have been like it was shaping up to be like one of the best things that's come out of the server in a while. Um, not to say our stuff's been bad, but it was like up there with all the best stuff. And then the fuck up happened, and I went, damn.
Hey, I had to nerf myself. I couldn't take too much of the attention
Well, that,
away.
that's true. You did nerf yourself.
That,
Yeah.
that, that's true.
You
Like,
couldn't have your first one be one of the best.
no, I couldn't. I already was making history. If I just started too well, people would expect more from Stealth. And then Luke probably would have made me the main character. I don't want to be the main character.
It's true.
Yeah,
You would have changed it to the stealth,
Stealth
SMP.
Stealth SMP. No one wants the Stealth SMP, but
I do.
I mean,
I want the Duke SMP.
the Duke
the
SMP.
Duke SMP. That can still be
Yes.
the D3 SMP.
True.
But yeah, maybe.
I'm quivering in my boots.
Yeah, no, that fuck up. I don't know how I forgot it because I guess I just wasn't paying too much attention to that specific scene. I did have to re-edit it a few days before because some of the footage got corrupted. I guess I just forgot that. But you know what? Hopefully, it didn't take too much from the stream. But that scene was that was a very important flashback.
Yeah.
It starts up kind of funny. It's just me doing push-ups. Doing more push-ups than I can do in real life. I'm not gonna comment how much that is. And the main idea behind that stream was so Atlas before I became the texture guy, Atlas was making a bunch of custom elytras and stuff. So they had made most of the people's elytras. I've made Jay's and Julian's, but Alice made all the other ones. And she also made my sword, Truffles. So I figured, it'd be cool if I canonized them. So Truffles is the sword of my dad's, my family sword. And my wings, the lever elytra, that's a gift from my dad. And I thought that was pretty neat. And if you watch the stream, you notice that Stealth doesn't get Truffles from his dad. Because Truffles goes to his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because his brother's the more of a warrior, which his brother was the one who killed Six. So makes sense. And yeah, we just had that scene. Another funny thing is that flashback had to be recorded so many times. Just because I was trying to. This was gonna take place in the past, and no disrespect to Jay, they kept logging on and logging off.
Yeah.
But then I realized I can just turn chat off, so I did, and then we had a good take, and then I got killed by a magma cube.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was an interesting recording session, actually.
That was a very interesting recording set. Luckily, I didn't make it to the VOD. Then we get to Jake's whole thing, where we get to the interesting, which I realized didn't mention this before. The glitching of the TV head.
Yeah. I think you did that very well. Obviously we could play it off as, it's basically a prototype of a prototype.
Yeah.
But then we get the revelation later on that it wasn't the TV, it was something else messing with it.
Originally, this was going to be filmed differently. He was going to be Stealth and his brother walking in on Jake killing the father, and then it would have been a memory wipe thing. But I realized it would have been much better to push for a builder later. Because by that point, you definitely, well, granted, in the first one, you have a sense that something's going wrong.
Mm.
But by that point, you could tell, okay, wait, I'm seeing something, but I'm also hearing a different thing. Something's definitely going wrong here. Add more questions rather than just having the answer.
Yeah. I did like as well, when you're like, "What happened to him?" And Jake's like, actually, act," and you kinda see him, like, formulating, like, a story of, like, "Oh, actually, 6 killed him,"
Yeah.
to play into the name, like, it was just,
Yeah.
a good kind of, you could see him making it up on the spot, and it was kinda just believable that he made it up then and there, and then orders you guys to go and kill him. Like, it was really well done where, like, while this was made months later after everything, like, it's a good way of, bringing it back in, and obviously, as we said, like, making it seem like your character was there, like, the whole time, even though,
Yeah.
we didn't know you.
The funny thing about that dialogue, when I pitched that specific scene to Luke, because I figured if I'm touching a dead character, probably get the approval
Whoa,
of the
you doing
boss.
what?
But I was going to refer to this. Luke's specific requirement to greenlight this scene was Jake had to say a line as it was actually 6. And we got it, and Jake did, honestly, Jake's a pro. And then we do it, and then because the idea is that Stealth and his brother should be grieving. Jake's like, no, just go do this. I thought being a gaslighting, dick. Again, great job. Then we get to honestly the most dramatic scene of the stream, which we've talked about, which is killing 6. Which I
Yeah.
really wish I had not fucked up live. But hey, it happened. It was still an
It's
emotional
okay.
scene. It had music in it.
People can go watch the 360p version of it on YouTube.
Yeah. I've highlighted the Twitch version in case anyone wants to watch the scuffness. Because it was scuffed, but it wasn't like character breaking scuffed. At least I don't think
Yeah.
it was. Then
That's still watchable.
the flashback that was shown, wasn't supposed to be shown, was the burning section. So, for context, I played a little bit of Luke's stream there just for clarity, because I realized these streams happened months ago. I wanted to make sure that people knew what the stream was.
Oh, you're on about, blowing up Keevan's house.
Yes.
Yes. I liked the interweaving of the 2 streams. So you'd obviously see it from Luke's perspective, but then when they're in the Nether as well, the fact that you were just like around the corner,
Yeah.
it was good. It's good for the kind of when we do the condensed lore videos, that those can be like, we can move stuff around to be like, oh no, actually we can't change the positioning of those.
No.
But I guess when you're watching them in, closer succession to each other, you'd be like, it's more noticeable as
Yeah.
opposed to being like months apart.
The other funny thing is I actually play one of those piglins that blows up Keevan's house.
There you go. It was canon the whole time.
Well, not
It
really.
comes around full circle.
Not really, because I wasn't a human then. I guess I was just playing my brother before I even ripped my brother in. But like I said, just tying in all my little appearances. And so we started up during doing that because the whole point there was, well, this is the other main event that the Piglin said, let's tie this back in. And Stealth is kind of taking more of a charge, but still as a brother, he has to listen to him. And we have Gregory there, of course.
Stealth, can I
Yes.
ask,
Go on.
just for, you're going to the housewarming, right?
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Sorry, is that unknown, or is it?
No, it's
I think
mentioned
you
in
were
the stream.
invited.
It's set up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were invited by Leon at the end of it. Anyway,
Yeah.
the my question is, are you gonna go in and mention everything, as in the fact that you blew up Keevan's house, which caused the rebuild and then resulted in a housewarming, and the
See,
fact that you killed 6.
I know,
'Cause
I know
you
exactly
you've
what
done
I'm
some shit
doing.
to Keevan.
Mhm.
I know exactly what I'm doing on Tuesday. And if you want
Oh,
to know,
okay.
you gotta watch on Tuesday.
I'll watch it.
I can't reveal it right now. But I've already told Kevin what I'm doing, and they're like, yeah, okay, yeah. So basically,
Okay,
Stealth's gonna
okay.
come in. He's gonna blow up the entire house because he's
Okay.
like, this house is ugly. I know he spent a lot of work, but no, that's not actually what's happening. If it happened on Tuesday, that wasn't my fault. Um, but yeah, also, other context. My brother is voiced by Classic Reilly, my podcast co-host
Yeah.
normally.
Oh, actually, at the very beginning of the stream,
Oh, Gregory.
we never mentioned, isn't it Cookies?
Gregory's cookies, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yes, because Gregory's whole existence is because of cookies. During Behind Enemy Lines, I jokingly called one of those piglins Gregory, and Cookies latched on to that. So I was like, ah, I see. Now I just have to fan service, and then I become their favorite character. It's worked. And then I was like, huh, how do I increase my fan service levels? Getting them to actually voice Gregory. They didn't realize they're watching it live. But no, Gregory's cookies. And my brother is voiced by Reilly. Those will be actual cameos. There are the Piglin outtakes in the thing, as well, but those are a bit more
Yeah,
subtle.
we noticed those.
Yeah. And also for the burning sequence, originally that was entirely gonna take place in the Never. Stealth wasn't gonna be in the overworld. But the only reason we had an overworld section was because you can't do a shaking effect on a Piglin in the Never. You can only do it in the overworld. And
Mm.
that was very important to show Brother being zombified. Which is
Yeah,
again?
I think
Yeah.
I think the SMP and trying to make stuff for it, I think it's taught everybody problem solving
Yeah.
Yeah.
of like, here's just a game mechanic that is stopping what I want, and we've no way of changing it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's like
Work around
basically
it.
rewrite it on the spot to get the effect that we're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's like a simple, it's obviously simple solution, but it still is like like you basically made a mini movie.
Not even a mini movie.
I would know it was a feature length movie.
Yeah, it was an actual movie length. It's an
Yeah.
hour 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it was very impressive.
yes. Stay tuned for a sequel sometime. I don't know.
Can't
We're
wait.
gonna get The Rock in it. We're gonna swap out Leon's character for The Rock.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
No, The Rock will play Duke.
Dwayne the Duke
Okay.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the burning sequence, I feel like that was done pretty well. That's like the most different scenes combined. Because we have the before the burning, the after the burning, the 2 bits of Luke's stream. I intentionally postponed the bit where Stealth realizes, oh, his brother's a piglin. Didn't show that on camera, even if the payoff was right after,
Yeah.
which I thought was a good idea.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I like how you keep calling it the burning. There was explosions. You
There
blew
was
it
a
up.
big boom.
I called it the burning. I know it's the explosions, but I forgot about the explosions until after I called it the burnings. I've given every
Right.
flashback a name. There is baby Stealth,
Yeah.
which is called recruitment.
Mhm.
There's English lessons. There's the gifts. There's the burning. And then there's the next one we're going to talk about, which is the reveal. So I thought about this genuinely whilst we were recording Rufus. It'd be pretty interesting because we always had the gas interrupting planned. It'd be really interesting if I was cutting a flashback. We did that.
Mm.
And that's just behind the scenes secret. The server was lagging that day.
Oh my god, you can see it in it. It was so bad.
That's the slowest
Mm.
cast ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leon, like, he couldn't shoot an arrow. It would just go and then like freeze in the air.
Yeah. It just would.
That's what I spend most of my time doing, is working on server maintenance.
You didn't do a bad thing. No, I'm joking.
Oh, you want to do it still?
No, you do a great job. I'm fine with my job right now. It's protect your head. I will make this stuff look cool. You make the stuff work cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we had that sequence. Because I did want to have a sequence where Self breaks out of his trance, I guess is the word. So we put it back in. And that scene. And again, on the topic of tying it back, we tied that back in to my first canon appearance, which was Salamina's stream.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Cell played my brother in that scene. They weren't fully aware what was happening. So when I was like to them, oh yeah, Cell, you're kind of the reason my brother's dead. He was like, what? What did I do? And I was like, you know, you kind of a reason. Again, for anyone who didn't watch the stream, in Cell's stream, he goes to the bastion looking for Jake. He runs into me, the ugly piglin, air quotes, who's like, go away, I kill you. But Cell tricks me by pretending that they'll be Jake's friend. We know how that turned out. Last I checked, Cell wasn't on Team Jake in the battle.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was blatantly lied to there. So I figured, I'd have to report that to Jake. I wouldn't be too happy. He needs the motivation to kill my brother. Because, well, to be honest, because Jake, I'm not going to say, I could. Jake can't kill Stealth. It's not that he physically can. He just probably shouldn't. Because of a player lives thing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's not too spoilery, right? Cool, yeah. Because Jake is aware of lives, Stealth isn't. So the idea was Jake knows about Stealth. So Jake knew that if he killed Stealth, just come back. So he was very careful. For Jake, it would have just been easier to torture Stealth's life rather than kill him. So yeah, which honestly just turned into a much more fucked up product. Because you have my brother, we're just walking to the thing, and not only does Jake force Stealth to kill his brother, he does it by forcing him to use his brother's sword, which used to be his father's sword. Which
pretty fucked up.
Pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. I don't know what I was drinking that day. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna make my boy super traumatized. Because every character on the server needs therapy in some form.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like I need to make sure Stealth needed therapy. He does. He
definitely does.
Oh, he definitely does. And that's how he has his sword now, Truffles. Not through the cleanest of ways. And
right, boys, I hate to tell you, I'm gonna have to skedaddle. Hope you have a great rest of the podcast, but I have a job.
No problem. Thank you for tuning
and I
in.
gotta skedaddle.
That's okay.
Right. Chat laters, boys, laters. Have a great rest of the podcast.
All right. Bye.
Night.
Dang, that EP bitch.
EP bitch.
EP bitch. But yeah, back to the murder of my brother. Yeah. Originally, there was going to be dialogue with stuff being like, no, why did I do this? Again, cut it out. Silence is pretty powerful.
Yeah, you don't want to you don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
Right. And then, like, I think it's clear that a lot of the things that you did weren't because you thought that they were the right thing to do. It was because Jake said to do it.
Yeah.
So there was no need to kind of overdo it and be like, "Oh, Stealth is having an internal conflict," whereas like, no, Stealth's been having an internal conflict since the first day he met Jake.
Exactly, yeah. And then, okay, it sucks that Luke's not here because the bad piggy line from before
Oh
never,
yes,
never stand that line. That was never a requirement by the boss man himself.
yeah.
Most people don't talk about that line because they're like, "Holy crap, Stealth killed his brother."
It was
Which
overshadowed.
it was, which you know is completely fair. But you have a bit of silence when Stealth kills his brother. And Jake is just like, now to make sure my good little piggy stays loyal, we turn around. What does he have? He has a command block.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I could redo this, there's one thing I would change. And that's
Which is
that's when Stealth meets Jake. I would have had, rather than the father walking away, I would have just cut and have it be like, no, cut, yes, I'll work for you, if that makes sense. Similar to what we did with Six's death, rather than Jake holding up a command block. Granted, I feel like a lot of stuff happened in between,
right.
but
Yeah.
looking back, you probably forgot that detail. But
But
that's,
you know what we what we said when we were watching it, right?
yeah.
Um, was that in the first flashback,
Mm-hmm.
you are baby Stealth,
Yeah.
and then immediately after, you are fully grown up going to talk to Jake.
Yep. He grew up on the way.
But
He just a
yeah,
late
I was gonna say
whisper.
those scenes are like an hour later, right? There's an hour between them.
Oh yeah, there's an hour between them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he just turned. Self is an adult, for the record, in case anyone's asking. Self is an adult. He
It's
just
like
grew.
it's like when, in Minecraft, when, 2 cows have a calf, that it's a baby calf, and then at some point, it just pops into a fully grown cow. It's the exact same.
Yeah, Stealth just became a full-on adult eventually. I was that. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
there you go.
it was great. We were originally going to see more baby Stealth, but I didn't want to have to make too many pickle noises.
But, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Hey, maybe in the future. But yeah, no. So I would have changed that command block thing, just because that kind of gave away the twist at the end, but not that it took away from it.
No, I don't think it gave it away. I
Mm-hmm.
think actually, I'll tell you because, um, I was obviously watching it with Atlas. She had no idea. Until the moment it happened, no idea, because the glitches were happening, and I turned to her and I go, "What was that?" Because I obviously knew. I was like, "Whoa, what was that?" And she's like, "I don't know. Did the stream glitch? Like, what was that?"
Wait, she
Like,
posted the actual stream.
yeah, there was no, like, she had no idea. It was it didn't give anything away.
Nice, nice. Um,
No, it was very funny because obviously, as I said, it was basically all new to me, but I did know key points
yeah.
throughout it. So it was like the fact that she had no idea what was going on, and then I was obviously sitting there knowing it. It was just it was fun. It was a fun watch.
It's funny. I should have had Alice on this episode to get her to tell me her reactions. Um,
Shoulda.
shoulda. Hey, what's she doing now?
I don't know.
I'm joking. She's probably busy. But then we get to my favorite bit, and that's the mind wipes thing. So, I
The
was
mind wipe. Good.
yeah, I was looking through chat, and Cookies was like, memory suppression. That's clearly it. But nope, it's full on memory erasure.
Mm-hmm.
So, other context. I'm a little bit of a wrestling fan. Unfortunately, it's like my guilty pleasure. Hi, Atlas. And I stole some wrestling sound effect for the crashing sounds before we get to pop up. That's that.
Oh, those are wrestling sounds.
There's this character called the Fiend, and he has this thing. Well, the guy who played him died 2 weeks ago, but
Oh,
basically, he had this thing. Whenever he would attack the arena would shut down, and they would play those sound effects.
Right. Okay.
And I thought it really worked down because it's like his brain shutting down.
Hmm.
Then we had the pop-up. Because I didn't want people thinking, I wonder what happened. Nope, I'm gonna make it clear. So I found a pop-up. I can't remember who I showed this to. I did not
I think
show
it
it
was
to
me.
you. I showed it to you?
I think it was. It was. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't show it to Atlas. I know that for sure.
Well, she had no idea it was coming, so
Yeah. And it was just like topics of trauma have been erased from Minecraft player stuff. That, I'm pretty sure, is the only teaser in the whole thing, aside from his actual appearance. That stuff isn't really isn't a pickle entity. Because Minecraft player stuff, if you
oh,
raise a
Minecraft player.
pickle
Yeah, it would have been. It would have
entity,
been a Minecraft entity. Yeah.
yeah, so you would have missed it. The ridge is gonna be much more obvious, but no, it's a slight thing. And then the other thing with the bottom right, rather than like, okay, it's Rip Bozo.
Yeah.
Genuinely speaking, so for a while we had this thing. It's technically still existing, just no one really uses it in the server, which is Dunn3 Bingo. And one of Jake's bingo board things is him saying Rip Bozo. And I've never heard him say it.
He doesn't say it.
He doesn't say it. So I was like, fuck it. If he's not gonna say it, it's gonna be in my stream. Just so it'd be something Jake related. Doubt anyone realized that it was a slight Jake Easter egg, but
No, Atlas saw it.
that's good. And yeah, mind wipe. So canonically speaking, command blocks can wipe your brain.
Well, I think the idea that that we're going with now, that they can view save states, they should then also be able to, like, not remove them, but like hide them as well. You know, like
Yeah.
it's the same kind of stuff. Just I reversed it.
Yeah.
Obviously, going forward, command blocks are gone. But the only thing we have left are the command shards. I don't know if more are going to show up. I'm not planning on having any more. I've got two. I don't. I have no plans for any more.
We'll see.
It might be in somebody else's lore. I don't know. I don't think there's anything written at the moment
It could be.
or more. But I think I think we're done with command blocks.
We
Oh,
would.
maybe.
There's.
Maybe.
I'm not
There's
gonna
there's
spoil.
one thing I just remembered.
Yeah. I can't believe that we're going to turn charms into a sentient command block.
Yeah, I can't believe Gertrude is going to get a command block head and is going to be
Yeah.
a deity, whatever that means.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention this earlier. The idea behind Brother attacking Jake, I never explained this. In my headcanon, and this isn't official, you can read this as just. Well, I guess it is official because I'm the one who wrote it, and I'm saying it. But you can read it whichever way you want. The reason he attacked Jake, some people will say it's because just primal instincts. He's a zombie now. My idea was when he turned zombified, it kind of undid the fuckery that Jake did to his brain. And at that point, he remembered what Jake did to him. So he went to kill him.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, "Oh, what?" You know, as in maybe like your brother blames Jake for sending him on the mission, and that's what got him zombified and stuff. But that makes more sense, I think, of being like, oh, because he's zombified now, he's like he has access to his full brain. He's not brainwashed anymore.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I like that.
he loses his communication skills, but he gains back some of that,
Yeah.
and just hurts so much more. I also like to think, so when Brother turns to get killed, he does it fairly quickly, and I think it's because in my headcanon, he knows what Stealth has to do, but he's not mad at him. He's just he cares about his brother's safety. Even if that means that Stealth has to kill him. Stealth's still his brother. And yeah. Emotional scene, genuinely.
It was. I believe Cookies was crying in the chat. It definitely was a an emotional. The whole thing was emotional. You know, the whole way through.
Hmm.
I presume like after that is when you throw the helmet down and go into the corner, right?
Yeah, yeah. Right after that.
You, yeah, you basically revealed to us that the reason you jumped in was that you had the potential of dying and not having to do anything anymore. Obviously, you still don't know about the lives
Yeah,
system. That if you had died, you would have just respawned.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it just shows that maybe you are overloaded with the trauma coming back.
Uh huh. But also generally speaking, that little bit where Stealth is like, "Ah, no, I just want to die." Generally speaking, without going too dark, that was genuinely inspired a lot by my personal life and stuff I've been through like a few years. But I emulated that there. And when I say that line of I was expecting to just find this thing from my father, um, originally, if you notice during the gifts flashback, I missed 2 pages of the book.
Oh, I yeah, actually no, I did notice that. What were on the
The
last 2
last
pages?
2 pages were originally gonna be those words from my father being like, "Hey, you can do it,"
Oh, okay.
but that's a cliche. And call me many things. Don't call me basic when it comes to this. So then I played into it, and then we had a really great scene. You have me just wanting to die, then you have Andrew and Leon just be like, "Hey, bud, it's okay. You'll be fine," etc. And you both did a great job. Um,
Thanks. Well, I was kind of worried going into that one because I wasn't like because we didn't have a script,
no, we
right?
didn't know.
We just had bullet points that we needed to hit, and so that bullet point was uh, Leon and Andrew give inspirational message to Stealth to carry on, and I was like, oh, what the fuck am I gonna say? But I think it was easy then when we were actually doing it because Leon and I, well, like our characters have been through a lot recently,
Oh yeah, you
and
both
we're
got killed by
still
Jake.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like the fact that we're still going, it was just like a like just look at us, like we're just powering through. Like we've been through a lot. Like obviously not as much as your character had been through, but we hadn't seen what you saw in
Yeah.
the flashbacks,
Yeah.
so we didn't know quite how bad it was. But
Mm.
yeah, I think it then just kind of came naturally that it was just like you know you find the purpose yourself. You don't need
Mhm.
your old man to tell you that
Which
you're
I thought was a
worth
much more powerful
something.
message than doing just being like something my dad told me. So I'm probably gonna rewrite whatever those last 2 bits of the book were if it ever comes up again.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
also another really funny thing, behind the scenes thing. Before we start recording that, I was like to Andrea, quick, say mean things to me so I can get into character.
What did I say?
You're like, Spider-Man's gonna suck. Your par
Oh, I regret that. I take that back.
Yeah. And then Leon's like, your parents don't love you. No one loves you, Sarah. For record, they weren't saying this straightly. This was just to provoke my character. What really hurt was like them saying that Spider-Man was gonna be bad. At that point, I was like, no, no, not my fucking game, but I'm looking forward to. And then we have that moment where so we got to a point where we knew how we were getting out in real life, but we needed a way to get there.
Yeah.
And we were like, how are we going to okay, one of us has to fall into the lava. And we all agreed that one of us was, but we never agreed who was gonna do it. I was waiting for one of you two to do it. But you two were
But
taking too long.
I wouldn't have made sense for me to
Yeah.
fall in.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't yet. Both well, I guess you could look at it two ways that both of you had fallen in the lava at that point.
Well, the important thing
Um
is Leon's one was filmed after.
yeah, yeah, it was actually. Yeah, well that's fair. Yeah. So at that point only you had fallen in. So I guess it worked. better that you did. But to be honest, rewatching it, it genuinely looks like you just fell in.
No, good job. Yeah.
It doesn't look like you like forced your way because Leon and I weren't moving around, but you were kind of being sporadic with your
Mm-hmm.
movements, I guess. So the fact that it was you to fall in, it made the most sense.
I farted. It's called Hi Callum. Welcome to a special live episode of the Placeholder podcast. Um, but yeah, no, we fell in. I mean, that's the catalyst. And like I said, we're tying it back to the start. Tied it back to the first flashback. Because if you look at the dialogue there, Self and his brother are trying to make a potion. They made an invisibility potion, but nope. They wanted to make a fire resistance potion. Miss Lore? No.
Or yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, it was literally yesterday. You can watch the scuffed VOD on a highlight, or you can watch the 360p video on YouTube. And then we get to that moment, and for the record, that's not actually how you make a fire resistance potion.
No, not at all.
Don't try that at home. You can't actually milk a strider.
Yeah, but wait, can you not?
No.
Oh, I thought you could.
I'm sorry to break the illusion, you can't.
Oh shit.
Um, but it was an old Piglin family recipe. So
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the ingredients was piglin sweat, and um, I hate to be the one to bring this up and kind of break it a little bit, but you're not a piglin, right?
I was actually gonna address that.
Yeah,
So
you're like, is it just sweat in general?
okay, think about it this way, right? Stealth is raised Piglin.
Yeah.
So when Stealth was taught, he would have been told it was Piglin sweat. Because he would have said he would have been taught specifically Piglin sweat is gonna do it. He would have been told they wouldn't just said sweat in general because they could have got a sweat from a gas. They could have got sweat from a Hoglin. They specifically said Piglin sweat to him when he was taught. And Stealth still thinks he's a Piglin. So that explains why the secret ingredient is Piglin sweat. I guess the behind the scenes secret is that Piglin sweat is probably similar enough to human sweat.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I was hoping that'd be made clear-ish. No, apparently it wasn't. Yeah, that's completely fair. It's a minor thing. I'm gonna need to do a stream where we get an actual Piglin sweat and we compare it to a human sweat, and we're like, dang, these are the same thing.
That would be so gross.
That would be. But hey, we've already climbed through
I'm
poop.
busy. I'm busy that day.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so we had that moment. I feel like I picked a pretty good song for that. I want to make sure I picked good music.
Hmm.
And well, you watched the stream. You could tell me what you thought about the music choices I did.
Um. Yeah. No. The music was good.
Yes.
For a lot of the stuff, obviously when it was like Journey to the Center of Rufus at the beginning, I thought that was very good as well.
Yes.
The like adventure music. Um, the the one I'm getting a bit ahead of myself now, but with the gospel music during
Yes.
um
That.
your thing it was an interesting one. We were kind of chuckling about it. It was
Okay.
but no, I mean it wasn't out of the realm of
Yeah.
possibility. Yeah, like it made sense, but it was very it was an interesting one.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Yeah. And actually, we'll get to that now because we already talked about climbing up the shit. Um. That speech. So generally speaking, I re-recorded that like 10 times. And I got to a point where I did it section by section. Because that's the end of the stream. It's supposed to be an emotional thing. This is where Stealth realizes, fuck it, I'm going to do this. So I needed
Yeah.
emotional music. And I found that gospel music. And I was playing it with my speech. Then I was like, dang, I'm kind of getting teary-eyed. This is kind of working. But I wasn't sure if it the vibe. So Kevin, I had sent Kevin the speech in full before. Like, this is a great speech. And then I sent her the song I was going to use. Like, yeah, no, I feel like it works. It's very hero's journey. And I was like, you know what?
Mhm.
Yeah, we played it for the first bit. I still cry watching that because it's a very real speech. Um,
Mm.
it's got a lot of me in it. Um, and then we get a more upbeat thing. But again, still from wrestling. I based the last bit of that speech from a wrestling promo, like a wrestler. Um, so yeah,
Right.
I just kept stealing this whole stream, just me stealing content,
Not borrowing. Borrowing.
borrowing, yeah. And then we had the chief who dropped stealth
Yeah.
sword because remember he doesn't have a sword this entire stream. Because in the
Mhm.
start he drops it, he gets it back in the end. Then we get the
Spoilers.
happy ending. Not spoilers, it happened. If you didn't watch the stream, it was yesterday.
Um, yeah, and then it was a happy ending. Leon and I had obviously left.
Yeah.
You had your big speech, and
Then Charms
yeah, that
came.
was then. Charms got out of Rufus. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Now, something I will say is I'm not gonna say specifically where stuff's going next. But I've made it. I feel like I've made it pretty clear. Granted, I know where I'm going next, content wise for
Um.
stealth.
Yeah, I think the next, or obviously I know where it's going as well,
Yeah,
right? But I think the next section of stealth lore, it makes sense.
it was set
I
up
don't
pretty
think it.
well.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like it comes out of nowhere. It's uh, obviously we can't say, but
Like,
no, it definitely is like the next logical step.
I mean, what I will say, I'm not even gonna say what it is, but like, come on, there are specific points where it's pretty clear where he's going next.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, and that is very Center of Rufus.
Yeah. There was a question I was gonna ask it to Luke because he's obviously I think he'd have a
Yes.
better grasp on this, but do you see a shift to fully pre-recorded videos?
Oh, okay. So,
Do you think you've started something or like obviously
gonna
there's always we're always going to have people who are live streaming it and they have like a small prereq and most of it's live, but I think the what you were able to do with like actual storytelling throughout the whole thing and intercutting the flashbacks and stuff to to further the story, like I think that it definitely wouldn't have worked live.
no, I wouldn't have.
Um, but yeah, I mean, my next one is a lot of prereq as well, just like my last one. But I'm not sure how much live stuff there will be.
Mm-hmm.
So I might even be following. Now it's not going to be an hour and a half long, but it could be following in the footsteps of being fully pre-recorded.
Now, the funny thing is, Andrew, you wanted to ask this to Luke. I actually asked Luke a similar question earlier today.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm gonna send you why I asked it to him because I can't spoil that.
Okay.
But genuinely speaking,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I want to make another one of these. It took a while, but I I feel like it's different, and you can tell a pretty good story this way. Because like we
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
if we did this for a stream, the only way to do it well, you couldn't do it well for a stream. It'd be too complicated. You wouldn't have the subtitles. But
Well, exactly. That was a big part. But I think also then just like as in we'll never be able to do putting on the TV head
again,
live.
yeah, we'll never be able to do that.
Like how would you do it? It has to be pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
So I think anything that involves me and the TV head is going to be pre-recorded. So if people are looking to do stuff with that or you know oh, you have the link there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if people are looking to do stuff with that, it has to be pre-recorded. So I think we'll see an influx in prereqs because I feel like recently there hasn't been that many.
If I know, it's like hold my beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, honestly, hey, I'm a trendsetter here, chat. You've heard it here first. Um,
Damn right.
I wouldn't recommend doing it all the time because it takes a lot of editing time to work on
Hey,
it.
hey, Stealth.
Yeah,
Journey to the Center of Rufus is in HD,
it is.
1080p, 60 FPS.
Callum picked the best time to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, now you can watch the scuffed version in full. Um,
No, the unscuffed.
oh yeah, the unscuffed version. Yeah, you can watch the scuffed
I
version too
presume
if you want.
you unscuffed it, right?
Oh, I should have. I should have. This is where you watch it and you're like stealth, stealth.
No,
You
I'm skipping through. It looks
okay?
unscuffed.
Okay, yeah. I didn't fully perfect the audio for that section. But
Right.
honestly,
Okay.
we'll have to see because I know I definitely want to do another massive pre-recorded stream. I know what one of them's gonna be. It's not gonna be for a while.
Hmm.
For the record. Like I'm talking. I mean, I'll message you which one I think would probably be another pre-rec entire stream. But I feel like if I've shown anything here,
Oh,
yeah, because I
that's
want to do a lot of
months
stuff.
away.
That's not, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of stuff there. What I want to cover. It's either gonna
Yeah.
be one giant movie or a bunch of mini stuff. But I feel like if I've proven anything with this stream, it's the importance of prereqs. And like, look, when I was pitching this stream, I was a little scared because when I realized it had to be entirely pre-recorded, you kind of lose the live aspect. And that's one of the main appeals to a bunch of us streaming, doing it live, having that thing with chat. But again, the way the story's told, it just worked well. And I'm not saying all my
Yeah,
streams are going to be pre-recorded. They're not. Trust me, they're not.
and I mean, like most of the time that we do, like prereqs and stuff, they're done completely through replay mod, and they're kind of more cinematic and stuff. But you recorded on OBS, we played out the scenes as though they were live. Like when we, if you notice, like the stuff inside Rufus between the flashbacks, there's no cuts.
No?
Like they're one takes. Like so when we were recording it, we said we have to pretend this is live. Like if something if something goes wrong or somebody messes up something, just play it off as though it's live to still give that feeling
Yeah.
that it's live. So I think it was actually really interesting watching it
Mm-hmm.
as though it was live, but I was watching it and I was in it
Yeah. But you're not there.
instead of it being like, oh, just my character's there and he has like a line or two. Like it was that we actually played it off as
Mm-hmm.
though it was live.
Yeah.
Um,
That was very
it
important to
was
me.
a lot of fun to do. Yeah,
Like I wanted
yeah,
to make sure it felt like it was live, even if it wasn't live. Um, like I wanted it to feel like a stream that just happened to have been recorded, rather than a prereq, if that makes sense. And I feel like I did a good job.
you did.
There were scary moments. There was one shoot because, like I said, we do these all in one take, where Leon accidentally spoiled the entire plot in the first bit. So it's had to be like, look, you're
We had to redo
spoiling
that
too
one.
much. So we redid that. And then when I went into the lava, luckily I didn't die.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no water in the nether.
I'll give you a play-by-play of what happened when we were watching that. Right,
Yeah.
you fell in the lava, and Atlas went, "The hell?"
Self
And we just
hawk
watched
dude.
you burn for like a minute.
Self hawk dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and because we're in the Nether, like nobody's got water to put you out. Like we just have to. When we're recording it, we're just gonna sit in there going like, "I hope he doesn't die," because we're gonna have to redo the past like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. I feel like that's probably a good time to end. We've been here for 2 hours. I gotta
I think
edit
2
this for
hours
you.
is
We
decent.
had a lot
Decent.
to talk about.
Well, I mean, we had an hour and 20-minute
Stream.
stream to talk about, so yeah,
Yeah.
2 hours is decent.
But yeah, Andrew, thank you for being my special guest co-host.
Of course, of course. Thank you,
Um,
Dunn, for being here.
I've noticed a correlation. Whenever I have done, my episodes seem to go very long. I think it's him.
I think you just had a lot more content in this one because
You know.
this one was a play-by-play
Oh yeah.
of the actual stream.
But yeah, if you want to check, now granted, I have to do this all this editing and post now. But if you want to check out, well, if you're watching live, check out the dungeon Dunn3. I might need to do more of these live. We'll see. I'll post these in the about section of the video. But Andrew, Smith, if anything that you want to plug?
Um, just watch the the SMP.
Oh yeah, you'll
Join
see.
the dungeon. You'll be kept up to date. I don't know when this is going out, but on
I
the
haven't decided yet.
29th, there's a stream. On the 30th, there's a stream, and sorry, on the 26th, there's a stream. On the 27th, there's a stream, and on the 29th, there's a stream.
Yeah, I guess I'll intentionally make sure that this comes out before. Normally, these episodes comes out on a Friday. I'll change that. This time, we'll see.
Oh, because that would be the 29th.
Well, next week there's a lot of streams happening.
There is.
Wait,
then
can I
mine's
say how
the
many
week
streams are
after.
happening next week?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay, I count weeks as happening from Monday to Sunday.
Mhm.
If I count it that way, there's 4 streams happening next week.
Yeah, 4 streams, yeah.
Yeah.
A little
So,
bit. It's a lot.
alright, that's a lot. I'm not gonna tell you what this. You know, one of them's housewarming, and I can't tell you what the other 3 are. Can't tell you how many of those I'm in. Can't tell you how many of those SmithAB's in.
He's in all of them. Oh, I'm in none of them.
Yeah, SmithAB's actually none of them. I'm in most of them. That's all I'll say. I'm in most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, tune in. I'll try and get this episode out definitely before Friday.
Okay.
It's gonna take a while to render because we have baby stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I'll be fine. But yeah, Andrew, thank you for tuning in. For being
Of
our,
course.
for our guest.
Tuning in.
Oh, look, it's weird. I'm live. I have to say don't worry about it. Thank you for watching this weird, accidentally live episode of the Placeholder Podcast.